Hello and welcome to Crowforest, the podcast. We are going to pick back up with November 27 of 2022. These are additional production sections. We read November 25 and 26 last time, and now we are going to finish out with November 27 and 28 for this production trip. November 27, 2022. We didn't end up getting much filming done today, but we did get a couple of good shots. I got a shot of Maureen getting water from the fridge, panning over to the miniature where the tiny wax figure was standing in front of the miniature fridge, which I meant to get on our last filming trip, but I forgot. And, of course, this means that the walls have now been painted. So, that's not great for continuity. Whoops. That last bit isn't in the book, but it should be, so I'll go add that. Then I got a shot of her walking to her bedroom and closing the door, filmed from below with a clear line of sight to the bottom of the fridge, where some magnetic letters had been rearranged to spell out James, the name of the ghost haunting her. And finally, we got a really cool experimental shot by putting the camera inside the miniature and filming out the miniature window to get a shot of her washing the dishes at the kitchen sink. I had to hold up the miniature in order to get the angle, but hopefully no one will notice the discrepancy, and it looks really cool. Could kind of even be creepier if people are like, no, this is clearly being held up by some invisible force. No, that would probably just make it look dumb. Whatever. And continuing on with November 28th of 2022. Today is the last day of filming for this particular trip. I should probably rewrite that because, far from the last day of filming overall. Today is the last day of this filming trip, so we'd better make it count. After today, her house will be decorated for Christmas, so anything that we forgot to film will have to wait until next year. The next two scenes we needed to film are the dance class scene, which we'll have to rent a local dance hall for, and the movie night scene, which can take place at my house. So there will be plenty to keep us busy for the rest of the year. Spoiler alert, here I am talking from the future. In March of next year, I guess, or this year, and I'm referring to the past, depending on what timeline you're listening to this in. But yeah, we did not get any of that done, even still now, in the future. So, yeah, we'll get that done at some point, but it has not happened yet. So we'll have plenty to keep us busy for the rest of the year. The first thing that we filmed today was the trick shot in the infamous shower scene. Yes, Maureen was not too happy when I said that there was a shower scene in this movie, but I mean, it's literally just like she turns on the water, goes to get a towel, there's a creepy figure in the shower, so she's like, no. And that's the whole scene, so I guess I just spoiled that, but suffice it to say, it's not like a, shower scene. So, yeah. I hung up the shower curtain that I had painted the silhouette onto, and then I closed the curtain, making it look like someone was standing in the shower. The shadow wasn't coming through as strongly as I wanted, so I unscrewed the light bulbs above the sink so that only the light over the shower was on. That pretty well fixed the problem, but I still feel like it could be more dramatic. But oh well, I'll just have to see how it looks in post. Once we were ready to film, I got out my camera and started filming over Maureen's shoulder, showing her in the shot at the same time as the silhouette, and then showing her opening the curtain to reveal nothing in there, with no cuts in the shot. We repeated the action a few more times, getting alternate angles and adding in the additional action of her turning on the water and stepping into the laundry room to get a towel. There will definitely be cuts in this sequence, but the final approach to the closed shower curtain will have no cuts. That's important for this effect to work. Next, we got shots for the wind tunnel scene. This sequence comes directly after the watering scene. The door closes on Maureen and she has to run around to the front of the house to go in that way, only to find that the back door is still open. And then all hell breaks loose with a wind tunnel. Originally in the script, I wrote that the papers were flying around the house as she was running around the outside of the house, but one day when we were filming, we happened to have both doors open at the same time, and a wind tunnel blew through the house and knocked stuff off the walls. So I figured, why not incorporate that into the movie? This would give a physical reason for the creepy shot that I wanted to get anyway, and if the back door was open when she came in after having slammed in her face before, that would be even creepier. Also, I have a miniature deck of playing cards, and I wasn't just going to not use them. Originally, I think I already said this at another point in the book, but I'll just reiterate it here. Originally, there was going to be a scene with the playing cards where Maureen was playing solitaire with a deck of cards on her table when her friend came over with the boxes. So when she went up to the attic, she left the game on the table, and so she brought the miniature back. And when she set the miniature down on the table, she swept aside the cards in an overdramatic gesture with the cards flying off the table, and there was a slow motion camera looking up at them, and looked really cool. But then when we had to refilm that bit, when the walls got painted the new color, we forgot to recreate the bit with the playing cards, so that all got scrapped. So I had to incorporate the bit with the playing cards into this sequence instead, because, as I say, I was not going to just not use the miniature deck of playing cards that I have. That was just not going to happen. I was going to figure out a way to do them, and so I did. That was non-negotiable. So, I hope you enjoyed that aside. So anyway, I got a close-up shot of the deck of cards on the counter and used compressed air to blow them off the counter, which turned out to be harder than I thought. I got some movement out of them, but not enough, so I switched to a big box fan that I had bought. Okay, that's phrased weird. It sounds like I bought it for this movie, which I didn't. I already had it from a previous video production, so this isn't even part of the film's budget. I will go back and clarify that. In fact, I think I'll just remove the word bought. I think I'll just say a big box fan that I had. So I switched to the big box fan that I had. That worked a little better, but still not enough. Finally, Maureen took a handful of the playing cards and just threw them at the back door. Hopefully I'll be able to take all of these disparate shots and cut them together into something that looks halfway decent. I got some shots of Maureen pretending to struggle through the wind tunnel and slamming the door. Then I got the overhead shot that I had really been wanting to get. A panning shot from the playing cards scattered on the floor to a matching scene in the miniature, with the miniature playing cards scattered on the miniature floor. And yes, I know I say miniature a whole lot in that sentence. Shut up. After that, I got a few shots of decorations falling to the floor, including one of Maureen's original decorations that had broken during the real wind tunnel incident. The one that this scene is based on. So, this movie is based on a true story. Or at least, this one specific part of this movie is based on something of a real story. Sort of. Also, I took a random framed photo that I found out in my shed at home, and I tossed it out the door where it smashed on her front porch. Hopefully it will look good because cleaning it up was a pain. Once I had finished picking up the big pieces of glass, I actually had to vacuum her front porch to get the last bits of glass dust. So that's what I did today. All right, so that is the end of that section. So meet me back here next week, and we will get back to post-production with December 1st of 2022. Hope to see you then.